During late 2022, I spent a few months working on a video about Elon Musk buying Twitter. But I decided against finishing this project. Just within a few weeks of the acquisition, this whole thing had turned into a battleground for some ongoing culture war, and it was frankly really difficult to add anything original to the story that everybody under the sun was already talking about. But it's been a while since all that happened. Things have simmered down quite a bit, and I feel I can finally give my thoughts on the whole Twitter thing, the whole Musk thing, without it coming off as some sort of controversial statement. Maybe. But with that said, I also did kind of miss the boat on actually covering most of what happened here. I don't think it's very necessary to go over every single detail of the story. Twitter Blue, the outages, the layoffs, the Apple stuff, the view limitations, the DMs. I don't really want to turn this into a roast. I don't want to go into any of the allegations against Musk or the former Twitter corporation, and I'm definitely not touching any politics here. I just want to give my opinion on this story because, well, it might be the last time I really get a chance to. I think Elon Musk is good at two things. From what we can tell, he's not really a genius, or a rocket scientist, or an engineer, or maybe even a competent programmer. He's good at getting talented people to work for him, but he's best at self-promotion. Musk has spent the past few decades crafting a persona for himself, a cult of personality, and in the process has developed a fan base that seems to find him charming. Part of this is by just lying. I mean, I can guarantee you that most of Musk's fans out there aren't aware that he isn't actually the founder of PayPal or Tesla. They don't know about how his family's connections got some of those off the ground, and they definitely don't know about some of these lawsuits. When projects like the Hyperloop fail, as everybody expected them to, he just sweeps that under the rug, and people look the other way. He has managed to embody what I like to call techno-populism. Just say a bunch of big sciencey sounding buzzwords that mean absolutely nothing, and people that don't know any better will just assume you're a genius. However, this is why I was personally so excited for Elon Musk to buy Twitter. Because while I don't like Elon Musk, I really don't like Twitter. So before I do get into all of this, I think I need to clarify a few misconceptions I've been seeing over the past year. This deal, this Twitter acquisition, was not pocket change to Elon Musk. He never actually had $200+ billion. That's not how money works. That was his net worth. And most of that worth came from his shares in Tesla stock, a highly speculative and what some would argue was a overvalued stock. If Tesla's value was proportional to other car manufacturers, well, it wouldn't be worth all that much, and neither would Musk. But I'm not going to get bogged down with all of that. In short, Musk isn't quite as rich as you think he is, and him buying Twitter was not a pet project. He can't let this die. It is a big deal to him. So, when trying to figure out why Musk did this, why he bought Twitter, I imagine it's for the following reasons. Number one, it's the only platform he has a large following on. Number two, he had genuine issues with the policies of the company. Number three, he felt he could run it better than the previous management. The final reason. This final reason is the only one that should matter. Web3. He wanted to make Twitter the center of crypto and NFTs. It's important to remember that Twitter has never really been that successful as a company, but being publicly traded in tech and a bunch of stupid business things, somehow it's still around. It should have died about 10 years ago. Because Twitter has a pretty big flaw with its business model. Twitter is more anonymous than, say, Facebook. It becomes difficult to identify a user's age and demographic for ads on this platform as opposed to something like Facebook. This means ad rates are lower, and Twitter just isn't that great for getting personal data that the advertisers want. And also, nobody looks at Twitter ads. It's a platform where you're constantly scrolling, so even if a lot of people are technically seeing an ad, most don't care. If Twitter wasn't making money, and Musk knew Twitter wasn't making money and wasn't going to make money, the only thing Musk must have been planning was to turn Twitter into some crypto NFT haven and take cuts from each transaction. And it's probably not a coincidence that once these things became irrelevant to the general public, Musk suddenly wanted out of the deal. He did not want Twitter anymore, but through legal and financial shenanigans, he was effectively forced to buy the company under the terms he himself originally set. Without Web3, getting Twitter profitable is going to be a challenge. So Musk's solution to this problem, probably the only solution that could possibly come from this, was a subscription service. One that already existed, but really push it on the public. Twitter Blue costs now $8 a month or something, and it's largely useless. Sure, your tweets will get more promotion, and you get half the ads of normal users, and for the largest accounts, Musk is just kind of handing out money to try to keep people around. But just so many things have gone wrong in the past few months, to a point where Twitter Blue probably won't work out. So again, Musk really hated the verification system on Twitter, and a lot of people did. So Musk's plan was to make everyone verified if they pay money. I'm assuming Musk figured this would generate revenue and get back at those pretentious blue check marks, but it definitely backfired. Because if everybody is verified, if everybody can be verified, then nobody can be verified. And of course, people had a lot of fun with that. This whole no more verification thing kind of delegitimized Twitter as a platform for a lot of businesses and advertisers, and I don't know if they recovered from that. But it also didn't help that Musk wasn't making any attempts at getting people on his side. Right now, anybody can go on Twitter and claim to be, say, me, get verified, and just say anything they want, and nobody would know it's not me. And Musk is using that idea as a weapon. Get people scared that somebody will go online and impersonate them, and then hope that the niche internet micro-celebrity will pay up just to make sure they're safe. And while Musk might have assumed a lot of people just gave in and gave him the $8 a month, it becomes easier for people to say, well, I guess Twitter's just useless. I don't use it. For the most part, I assumed Musk's motivations were largely driven by his ego, his greed, desire for control. But in recent weeks, I think there's a lot more to it than that. Musk is, well, how do we say, he likes to party. And I'm pretty sure that's what's driving these decisions. By renaming Twitter to X.com, he has done one of the stupidest things in the tech industry. He has taken a website that has already lost more than half of its value or more, a site that's continuing to lose money, that's barely managed to fend off the weakest possible competitors, and then just renames it, removes the entire branding of Twitter. Brand recognition is an important thing. And now you don't go on Twitter to tweet, you go on Shitter, Tajit, Kajit. And then the whole basically using Unicode thing as a logo, that's funny in itself. And that's why I kind of feel this is the last chance to really discuss Musk or Twitter or X.com, because once it moves from Twitter to X, well, it's not as fun anymore. The discussion of, oh, look how Musk is destroying Twitter is over, because now he's destroying some website that he just kind of took over. It's not even the same. If it's not the same name, it's not the same thing. And look, I know a thing or two about changing names. This channel used to be called Geography Hub, and then Knowledge Hub, and then I hated both of those. But I knew I could not change Knowledge Hub to something like Tyler's Fun Bucket, because nobody would know what this channel was. The most I could do was change a hub to Husk, and that's why I still have my old profile picture after all these years. I know Musk is personally passionate about the letter X. I'm sure to him it seems very cool as he's building this everything app that will certainly work out. But to most people, it comes off as sterile and lame, and it tells everyone that this is not Twitter anymore, it's just Musk's personal plaything. But even still, I don't think Twitter's dead. Or shitter, or whatever it's called. In my mind, there's only one way that this platform could come to an end, and it would take quite a bit of work from Musk to get to that point. In the modern digital world, we are reliant on companies and services attached to them through this symbiotic relationship. I'm sure there are many people out there who have used an iPhone or an Android for the past decade and would love to switch to the other ecosystem, but won't. They have too many photos, too many apps, too many purchases on these specific platforms to make the jump. The same thing goes for game console, for any service. And Twitter is going to be the same way. Look, I don't really think I need to explain why Musk's plans to turn Twitter into X.com, the everything app, where you can do everything, is probably not going to work out. I mean, for one, Twitter is currently a website where you can barely do anything, so moving up to everything is just a little bit too ambitious, in my opinion, at least. But there's also, reality kind of gets in the way. Sure, something like this can exist in China, a nation where services are essentially produced and managed by the government. But in a more free market, this kind of thing just doesn't really work, Elon. Apple wouldn't be able to pull off the everything app. Google would not. Microsoft can't. And so forgive me if I don't have a lot of faith in Elon Musk and this website that's bleeding money every single day. To be honest, there's just not much more to say here about this. Twitter is dead, or it's not. Who cares? Nothing of value was lost. The only real lesson to take away from this is don't do drugs, kids.